going on, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing something a little different, and with one of my best friends is my golf sisters, and we are gonna do a Din Tai Fung mukbang. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called, but we've been literally trying to set up this food and we've been wanting to eat this whole time, and so just staring at it has been quite the challenge. But this is what we always literally compete for, and we ended up splitting it anyways. Big sis couldn't join us, and little sis is out of town right now, so it's just us, and so you're gonna get to know Iz and I a little more today as we eat.
Very excited.
Yay. All right, you guys, so this is part one of the mukbang. The second part two will be on Iz's channel, so be sure to stay tuned. I'm gonna put the link in my description. And so yeah, we're just gonna get to know each other even more as we eat, basically. So I'm starving.
Yeah. Let's get going. It's one of our favorite pastime, favorite hobbies, other than golf.
If we don't play together, we're eating together.
Basically,
yeah. So basically what we have here is we have the xiaolongbao. It's here on this plate right here. We got the cucumbers, we got the spicy wontons, we got the green beans, the kale, and the rice cakes are my favorite thing of all time. She doesn't really eat that much carbs. Those are soy noodles, by the way.
Soy noodals.
Yeah.
These are my favorite.
Yeah.
So that's your staples are the rice cakes. Right. Mine are the soy noodles.
Still good even when it's cold. You gotta have the sauce with it. Din Tai Fung is everywhere, right?
Started in Taiwan. Yeah, so when I lived in Taiwan, we lived like right next to it, so we'd go all the time.
I've never really been self-conscious about the way I look when I eat.
Really? Yeah, I don't really record myself when I eat normally.
But here we are.
Excuse the spinach in our teeth temporarily.
Oh, I know, right? Guess we can start now. So we are going to start with how we met. So you can go from your perspective.
Okay.
She was about to take a bite and she was like, I hate this so much.
So I had originally heard of Tish. Our colleges, so Cal State Fullerton and Riverside, played in the same league. Is that what it is? The Big West. Big West. Yeah. And so I always knew of her, always knew the name, but we never really got a chance to meet until we both started playing the mini tour events. So in Vegas.
It was 2016.
2016. That was right after like social media started, and it was so cool because we already got to connect before we had met, and it felt like we already knew each other. And I always remember this is it was at Stallion Mountain into the clubhouse, and I was walking out, and then you're just like, hey, like it's nice to finally meet you, and I was like, oh yeah. And then, that's kind of how we met. And then we all went to get sushi after, and yeah, the rest is history.
Sorry. And I just put it all in there. Can you pick up on the chewing sound, you think?
Probably. I always want to chew really loud, but I think if you close your mouth, it's not that loud.
You think what?
I think if you close your mouth, it's not that loud. But if you even slightly open your mouth, it's really loud.
Sorry. That was a lot. Anyways, yes, I agree. I remember all this. This is 2016. We all were a part of the social media golf bubble, so we all started growing slowly. Playing a mini tour event. I was declared pro. I remember meeting her and her caddy in Vegas. Officially met. And it's like, that was like the one cool thing. It was like, if you knew a girl through social, it was like, oh hey, we're like friends because we've messaged, and it was like a safe space, you know? And that's really how we built that girls golf community of girls of different caliber, you know, golf ability. So that was always really cool. So I've always known of your name. I didn't know that she was like the sock girl until I saw her in person. I think you were wearing yellow. Like yellow long socks and yellow skirt. And like, talk about being on brand. This is why she has a sock company, you guys. She has always had long socks. Always. Every single tournament. Don't know how she finds all the socks, but she does. And so that was how we first met. And then I don't even know if we really stayed that connected after that. It was kind of like, oh, I'm in the area. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, we kind of went on different paths for a little bit. I think you were really pursuing that pro route. I think for at least like 6-7 months.
That whole year.
Yeah. And then I had kind of stopped because I was finishing up college. and so I couldn't really do that. So I would only see you mostly in Vegas.
Like the
and-
tournaments and then...
Yeah, tournaments, and then if we were ever in town together. And that was 2016.
I knew that she was one of the only girls that was based in SoCal. And I'm based in SoCal too, so that's eventually how we reconnected and got close. And then, well, we would both connect and see each other like at celebrity events and stuff. And we were both like, you know, we were both in relationships and stuff like that. This is not like a now we're together kind of talk. This is like, we're just saying that we weren't that close because we were both preoccupied with our significant others that were maybe not the strongest for us in those moments. And we would just do like quick catch-ups like, how are you, blah, blah, blah.
And then I think, like, I was friends with, like, you and your ex as, like, a whole, as a couple.
That was fun, like, telling you that we were together.
Yeah. I was surprised.
I'm gay, by the way. How did I tell you that I was gay?
So you and your ex had slept over, and then we had just gone to Korean barbecue. That's probably why you remember that. And she was sleeping on the bed, and then you and I were just on the floor.
Oh my god!
And then you ended up telling me, and then in the middle of the conversation, she woke up, and then she was like, "I guess you just told her." I'm like, "Yeah." But honestly, I already.
It was not much of a surprise. Like, we knew we wanted to tell her, so like our body language was like slowly letting loose. Like we knew that like we're like, what's her religion? Yeah. What are her beliefs? What,
I'm agnostic. Yeah. Not very religious.
And like me and my ex were having conversations on the side, like, do we tell her now? Yeah, you tell her. You tell her. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna tell her. You closer. I'm like, no, you're not. We're equally closer. Like, so that was the start of getting close. Then she'd hang out with both of us. We both eventually got out of our relationships kind of around the same timing. It was just coincidence. I think I remember driving here, remember? That we're here at Iz's house. And we drove here and we were just like both crying. We were just crying. We were just like literally venting and like crying about like what we want and like maybe things aren't meant to be, like the crazy inside stories of what was actually going on behind the scenes. Like we both thought that we were actually really okay and we were not. And I think it was like that specific day that I was like, I think she's gonna be a close friend for a while, because it was like we had just like dove deep, like just talking about goals and stuff, and like it was like a hard time for the both of us.
But also one of the things I really, you know, like love spending, like one of the reasons why I love spending time with Tish is because we're both, it may not seem like, we may not look like it, but we're actually quite deep. So in a sense where we
does it not look like that?
we talk about like really deep things and like growth, and we were both like in that self-growth mindset for a while, like at the same time.
Yeah.
So that was really cool. I didn't really have any like
anyone to talk
friends
to.
that really had that as a priority, and we would like journal, and we would
we
like,
would do it all together. Yeah. And so that's eventually how we got close, and then started golfing a lot more together, especially when I put down the bag. I put down my bag competitively in 2018, and we just started hanging out and just doing fun social stuff, and then so that's a long story of how we met, and suddenly of how I told her that I was not straight. So next question. Okay, what was your first impression of me?
You're definitely like a bit intimidating, I think, in like a good way. Like my first impression of you was that you like wouldn't let anyone mess with you, you know, and like just like very sure of yourself, and like I wouldn't want to mess with you. Like I want you on my side, basically. That was my first impression.
My first impression of it is, well, we didn't have much of a conversation when we initially met on the golf course, but then Sushi, I think you were like sitting like at least in front of me, and we got to have a full conversation, and I felt like you were very just like kind. Like I feel like you're very approachable, and like you're like dainty and soft, someone easy to get along with, you know, like. And then like at the time, she like, her and her sister like to wear like anime stuff sometimes. Like,
oh, you mean like the cat ears?
Like cat ears. So I like associated anime to her for a little bit. Yeah.
That's so funny.
Oh, and I like thought that you were a little more like introverted. Like
I definitely was. Yeah.
Way different person who she is now versus then, for sure.
Yeah, I would probably say I'm probably a complete different person.
Absolutely.
Now than I was 3 years ago even, and a lot of it like actually has to do with you. Yeah, like I've adopted a lot of like my like confidence and like personality, like more aligned to like, your personality. So yeah, like I just always really admired how like Tish was just like so sure of herself, even when maybe you necessarily weren't. Like even if you had to put on like a facade, it was just like you kind of like fake it till you make it, and then the more you do it, the more you believe in it. And I think the biggest difference between like you and I is like for better or worse is that you like have like a natural confidence.
I do.
And like even like as a kid, I think you've always said like, oh, you've always known like you were gonna be someone and like that. And then I actually grew up the complete opposite in a sense, where it's not that I didn't have confidence, but I just didn't like, for example, when I started to get followers, I literally was thinking like, why does anyone follow me? Like I'm literally just like a regular person, and even up till now. So I think I'm kind of the opposite, where I need to see something before I actually get super confident in it.
I think now though, like your persona is like very different. Like she's definitely the person now who would be like, who was like probably braver than me to just walk up to a group and conversate. And I would like assess the situation and be like, I don't know if they want us there. And she's like, no, let's just go and try. And I'm like, okay, here we go. That's really cute though. I didn't know that you thought that way of me. That like
I always told you.
No, I didn't. That you like even thought to adopt anything that I do.
I mean, for a long time. I mean, when
that's so
even like
nice.
2 years ago, we would hang out and we would go to parties together, and that was like the time when I was just really like, you know what, like I don't want to be an introvert anymore. Like I don't want to.
After your breakup?
After the breakup.
Okay.
Yeah. Like I don't want to. Like some people just don't have the time to get to know you, right? Like they have maybe like 5 minutes, but like you know. And someone actually once told me that, you know, like, oh, you're such an awesome person, but you don't give people the opportunity to get to know you. And that's when I don't know. That really hit home for me, and I just thought, you know, well, I might as well just like let people see who I actually am, like the first second, like the first impression was so important. And so I would actually like watch you for a while, like, you know, when we went to like PJ what's that called? The show PJ show.
Yeah.
And like we would go to parties together, and then you just like had this like really nice aura that like it was like confidence, and then so I just kind of adopted it. So I just took like
You just took it.
the best parts of you.
The best parts, you guys. We're about to touch on like the crap side. Well, that's cute. I don't even remember how we got on this topic. Going off that, if anything I learned from is to be softer and more patient. For real, because like there was a period where I thought like her patience was like next level, and I was like, I think I need to be a little more like this, because I'm, I think, a little too assertive too fast. Like,
and then we kind of
swapped, and then now it's a little different. But I think we're like a good balance of one another.
Yeah,
that's probably why this friendship works
like
really
yin
well.
and yang, for
sure. For sure.
But I think for us, it's our personalities are actually very complementary in a sense. So we really like both have different strengths and like play to it.
Yeah,
I would say.
I agree. Okay, next. Fondest memory of each other.
Gotta think about that. We have spent so much time together.
There was a period when we were both single. We were seeing each other very often, and we were really willing to drive, whether I came here to Irvine or you came and visited me and my parents' home and whatnot. And we just hang out, and like when I think of and memories, I always think of like our late night talks.
Oh my god.
And like falling asleep and like not making sense anymore. Like she'd just be like, and I'm like, did you hear anything
we would
I said?
Start like
we would just
talking gibberish.
gibberish. I was like, what did you just say? I don't understand. I think that was definitely one of them. There's definitely a few moments that like I laughed so hard I couldn't breathe. I just can't think of any right now.
Yeah, I think for me, something similar is like a combination of all the times is we would always call each other when we were on long drives.
We still do.
Oh, that's right, we still do. But more so before, I would say. And we drove a lot. Like we were always on the road for like an hour and a half and like 2 hours, going from like, you know, LA, San Diego to, you know, Marietta, like literally everywhere. We always had like really good, like random talks.
Like everything.
Yeah.
I know everything about her. I've seen her naked and everything. Everything. Literally, I approve everything. All the photos that she's ever sent, I know everything. It's crazy. I have a fond memory. So, my now girlfriend, she's great. She kind of used to work in a little bit in the golf world as well. not in front of camera. And Iz and Maya were always my accomplices into all this, and I was the first to get into a relationship. We were all single. Okay, and then Kat was still in college, so she was just a little sister that we knew we were waiting for. So she is not even in the picture yet.
Oh my god! Oh my god! It's so hard! That was so hard. I was like, oh, you gave me a 5 iron! You gave me a 5 iron! Okay, I'm sorry. Right?
So we're thinking like, I had a great date with this girl. This is 2018, gonna be 2019, and I was like, I want to do something really cute. And
it was her birthday, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was her birthday. And one of the inside jokes, I met her on Bumble, and I would always be like, oh, you're just a rock throw away from me, because she ended up being so much closer to me than I thought, like physically. And I was like a rock throw away, and this date was successful, and like I want to give her a birthday gift, but I just met her, like I don't want to be weird now. And so I got her a rock. And like, this may sound lame, but I think it's actually really cute. I got her
You had to be there.
You had to be there.
I think we had gone hunting together for that special. It was like a perfect pebble.
We all went to like a Christmas party, me, you, and Big Sis.
Yeah.
We got a little drunk that night, and Maya was like, let's go find a rock. So now we're at like Aviara. We're at Aviara, and we're like looking for rocks, and they like the decorative rocks that you see outside of like the signs. We were looking for the perfect rock and the perfect color, and we're like, this rock, and I was like, not that rock, it's too dark. This rock, no, it has a lump on it. And like we found this perfect rock that looks like a soap, and I wrote to my girlfriend from me, and I didn't want to be the one to deliver it to her work. And so I'm riding with Iz, and I'm like, you go do it, because I don't want them to recognize me in there. So she was like, I got you, sis, like I'm gonna do it.
Won't let you down.
Okay, it's like a Saturday or Sunday, and we don't work 9 to 5, so we don't know anything, and the office is closed. So she goes in, she's like pulling on this door, and I was like, oh my gosh.
What's going on?
And then she's like running to the door, like so excited to do this for me, and then it doesn't work, and then she comes back to the car, she's like, I'm so sorry I let you down. And so I never gave this rock, and then it ended up being Maya who gave it. It's this whole thing. Long story short, now we're together, and this is
the rest is history.
The rest is history. And
that was the beginning.
That was the beginning, and like that whole rock situation was such a mess. And I remember when Maya's older sister, big sis, was like, "Oh, what's in this gift box? Are you giving the girl you're seeing a gift already?" And she's like, "Don't you think that's too soon?" And I was like, "No, it's not really a thing. It's a rock." And she was like, "A rock?" And like she was thinking like a ring, because the box was a ring box, and I was like, yeah, and I was like, oh my gosh. And then Misa, Maya's older sister, was like, you're moving really fast. And I was like, no, open the box. And she pulls out a rock, and she was like, I don't understand. And I was like, never mind.
Oh, do you remember this? We were on Maya and Misa's dining table, and you were trying to write the note, and I think you wrote about 30 times.
I like couldn't get my penmanship.
Find the picture.
I'm gonna attach it right here. I literally did not know how to write the note. What were the words I was gonna say? Do I write in all caps? Do I write in cursive? And Maya was like, no, just that's what's wrong with what's wrong with your handwriting? Just put to her from you. And I was like, I don't know. And I just had like slips of paper just everywhere of me trying to write.
Oh my god, do you
note.
remember one of the things, I think it was my idea, is for the note to say you rock.
Total friend zone. You rock.
You rock.
Yeah. I don't know what I ended up saying. I forget, but it was like, I said something like that my attempt to be a little bolder, because it's like a little bolder, and I want it to be bolder. And then I get the text from her like 2 days later, and she was like, "This is the cutest thing I've ever seen."
Well, I remember what happened, because right after, for some reason, Maya had sent it on like a Thursday, and then she had happened to take.
Oh, I had to wait the whole weekend.
Yeah, and then she didn't get back until like Tuesday. So you were like going crazy for like 6 days.
I was like, she doesn't like me.
Yeah.
What a process. And then I gave Maya the wrong last name.
Oh my god.
When she went to the work, she was like, no, it's this name. And they're like, I'm sorry, ma'am, there is no. This person that you're looking for doesn't work here. And she's like, yes, she does.
Yes, she does.
We know she does. We know she does. And I had the last name wrong, because the first letter of her last name was not whatever I said. It was just... Anyways, this is a very drawn out story of how I got my girlfriend. So that's that. So, anyways, that was a fond memory.
Okay.
So, we'll end on this. Name one thing you think I must improve on and one thing that you admire about me.
Well, the admire one, it kind of goes back to my earlier point, which is like you just have like so much confidence in like what you're about to do, and I really think that you shape your own reality.
Aww.
Yeah, like for example, it's like you'll put your mind to it and you'll just like get it done. Like I think your biggest strength is the fact that you can believe in yourself before you get anything done. Like that's actually really hard to do. Like I struggle with that too. Like even for now, like if I've gotten somewhere, I still don't feel it. Like it takes me, I'm almost like a few steps behind. Like I'll have to get to like, you know, point C before I start to feel like really confident about point A or point B. Yeah. So
I like that.
Yeah, I really like that about you. And
one thing I need to work on. I can take it. I can take it.
Drink. Well, I guess this is just for like like you don't act like this to me, but maybe sometimes like, you are a little bit strong.
Yeah,
like
I can see that.
Yeah, like whether it's like to your like your girlfriend or maybe to like friends who, but then the thing is like you have like such good intentions that no one can really fault you for because you're just passionate. Yeah. So maybe like sometimes you could just like reframe like the way
maybe my approach.
Yeah, approach. Exactly. That's what it is.
My approach can maybe be a little different.
A little,
I agree.
Softer.
Yeah.
But I think that's about it. Yeah.
Okay, I can take that. That wasn't so bad. Okay, cool. Okay, one thing I think you can work on. I mean, I think you already know this is coming, so I think like time management.
Yeah.
Like I will literally text her and be like, "Are you getting ready? Don't watch any podcasts, no videos, like." And then
makeup now.
Yeah, and I'll text her and be like, "Did you leave? Did you leave? Did you leave?" And I know my time management is not always fantastic, but sometimes hers can gap from 30 minutes to an hour.
Yeah.
Or more. So. Yeah, I think time management becomes too tight.
Yeah.
And then suddenly it's like, oh, I have so much time. And then suddenly it's like I can't even think straight. Like, she won't notice what's in front of her. Like, literally.
There's this one time, I think, where was it? It was like the PGA show, maybe?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think we had to get ready real quick, and I started panicking because, like, my brain just gets, like, really scattered. And then I was, like, getting upset at Tish. I was like, you took my mascara. Where's my mascara?
Oh, I would never.
She was like, it's literally right in front of you. I'm like, I don't see it.
Yeah, and I think in that same day she was like, where is my sweater? I need to wear a Malvin sweater. And she was wearing it. Or it was like tied around her waist, and I was like, okay, we're gonna need to work on this.
I'd probably go like deeper in that and say it's really more of a procrastination type of thing.
Yeah, probably
maybe not time management. Like time management like falls into it. It's weird. I can't process time in a way. So like let's say it's like 4 hours and like in my mind I'm like, oh well, I still have like 3 hours to do it, and then until you have no time.
Yeah. And then it's like,
and then you panic.
Compact everything in like one little go. And then one thing I admire about you, it's like your like newfound go-getter mentality. So like I think me and I think Maya too, we're very much this way, is like we are such perfectionists. And like I think Iz has exemplified in starting her company and literally any endeavor that she's done, that like it's never perfect at the start, and she just like does it. Like she literally just does it and then like improves on it over time. And like I think you just maintain a really good mindset towards like your goals and what you do. Like I think it's really easy to get down on yourself when things aren't going your way, but she's always been like, whenever I'm in a very negative space, she's always been the one to like level me out, always stay positive. I feel like there's never really been a time that she's called me and has been in a bad mood. Like it's always me calling her to vent, and she's always like the one to kind of like zen me out. Like she is always motivational, always like, if anyone's gonna do this, it's gonna be you. Like she's always the one to like snap me back, and I feel like she's just always had like a really good head on her shoulders. Like it's obviously why I keep you around.
Aww,
so, like she's like a very, very good friend. To add to like the one thing that I love is like there is nobody that I would question ever towards loyalty as a friend. Like when it, either of us, for either way I'd say, but like is especially like there is no question that it's like, it's to the point it's like my enemy is your enemy. Like if you're in trouble, I'm in trouble. Like if we're being pulled over, we're in it together. Like if we're lost and we're in a ditch, we're in a ditch together. Like that is like our mentality, and I think it's like that's like a really special thing. Thank you. Yeah. So I think that's what we're gonna end on. Our food has been colder than ever, but it has been really good.
Delicious.
So on that note, I hope you guys have enjoyed this mukbang. I still don't know if I'm saying that right or wrong. This is part 1. Head to Iz's channel for part 2. If you like what you see, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notifications button so you don't miss a beat. Oh, she got it right! Yay! Bye! And if you'd like to order any of this food, I can also put it in the bio. If you're, if you're heading to Din Tai Fung, we'll tell you what to order. It's amazing. So yeah. Okay. Bye.